In a world more connected than ever, why does the ache of loneliness feel sharper, deeper, and more pervasive than at any other time in history? We swipe, we scroll, we connect digitally, yet so many of us whisper the same silent question into the void. Am I truly alone? That gnawing emptiness, that sense of isolation even amidst a crowd, is a universal human experience. It's the feeling of being unseen, unheard, and fundamentally separate. But what if this profound sense of solitude is not a curse, but a disguised invitation? What if the very yearning for connection is a compass pointing you towards a reality far more intimate and unbreakable than you could ever imagine? Today, we turn to the eternal wisdom of Rumi, the 13th century Persian mystic and poet, who experienced the depths of human longing and found an answer so radical, so comforting, it has resonated across centuries. He didn't offer superficial fixes or temporary distractions. Instead, Rumi unveiled a truth about loneliness that doesn't just alleviate the pain, it dissolves the very concept of being alone. He asks us to look beyond the surface of our perceived isolation and discover a constant. Rumi's answer to loneliness begins with a radical reorientation of our perception of self and other. For Rumi, the universe is not an empty, indifferent expanse. It is brimming with the divine presence, a beloved who is closer to us than our own jugular vein. This divine beloved is the ultimate companion, the friend who never leaves, never judges, and whose love is unconditional and eternal. The feeling of loneliness arises, Rumi suggests, when we forget this fundamental connection, when our hearts become veiled from this constant, all-encompassing presence. He describes this forgetfulness as a kind of spiritual amnesia, where we mistakenly believe we are separate drops of water, unaware that we are part of an infinite ocean. The solution, then, is not to desperately seek external companionship to fill an inner void, but to turn inward and remember this intrinsic bond. It's about cultivating an inner awareness that allows us to perceive this ever-present companionship, to hear the silent whispers of the beloved in the rustling leaves, in the beating of our own heart, and in the very breath we take. This shift in perspective transforms loneliness from a state. Paradoxically, Rumi doesn't tell us to suppress our longing or the ache of loneliness. Instead, he elevates it, transforming it into a powerful spiritual tool. For Rumi, the very pain of separation, firak, from the beloved, is proof of an original unity, wisal. The tear in your eye, the ache in your heart, is not a sign of abandonment, but a direct signal from the soul, a profound longing to return to its divine source. This longing is a bridge, not a barrier. It is the very engine of spiritual seeking. He famously writes, "The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep." This breeze is the gentle stirring of that longing, an invitation to wake up to the deeper reality. Instead of fleeing from loneliness with distractions, Rumi encourages us to sit with it, to listen to what it is trying to tell us. In this surrendered listening, the pain itself becomes a teacher, guiding us to the wellspring of connection within. It's in the quiet, the stillness, and even the sorrow that we become most receptive to the subtle presence of the divine beloved. This perspective transforms what feels like an unbearable empty. So, what is the practical path to experiencing this intimate, constant connection and truly dissolving loneliness? Rumi emphasizes the importance of polishing the mirror of the heart. Our hearts, he says, are meant to reflect the divine, but they become dulled and obscured by the dust of worldly attachments, ego, and forgetfulness. The practices of remembrance, dhikr, contemplation, muraqabah, and selfless love, ishq, are the polishing cloths. Through these practices, we gradually remove the veils that separate us from our own true nature and from the divine presence that pervades all. It's about cultivating a deep inner stillness where the subtle whispers of the beloved can be heard. This path also involves shedding the illusion of a separate, isolated self. When we act with compassion towards others, recognizing the divine spark in them, we are actually connecting with the same divine spark within ourselves. Let us finally return to our initial whispered question. Are you ever truly alone? Rumi's resounding answer rings with joy and certainty. No, you are not alone, and you have never been alone. The deep silence you sometimes perceive is not emptiness. It is the sacred space where the beloved is waiting for you to listen more intimately. The intense yearning you feel, that persistent ache of longing, is not a void or a deficit. It is the precise magnetic force drawing you back to your source, an undeniable proof of your original, perfect unity. The perceived separation is merely an illusion of the ego, a thin veil that conscious spiritual practice is designed to dissolve, revealing the profound, unbreakable embrace that encompasses your entire existence. Imagine the transformative freedom of living your life with the constant absolute awareness that you are perpetually cherished, expertly guided, and unconditionally loved by an unseen, all-pervasive presence, always supportive, always close. This is not just a fleeting, comforting thought. It is the ultimate reality that Rumi invites us to experience and embody. To live this truth, you must consciously shed the burden of desperately seeking external validation and temporary companionship to fill a hollow space within. Instead, commit to the radical act of turning inward, polishing the mirror of your heart, and finally remembering the intimate friend who resides there eternally. The journey through life's inevitable trials and tribulations, its heartbreaks and its uncertainties, is entirely transformed when you realize you are walking hand in hand with the divine beloved. Stop searching outside yourself. The complete, satisfying embrace you have always sought, the connection that truly fulfills, has been whispering your name from the absolute depth of your own being all along. Open your heart now and realize this truth.